to get a 2-year budget deal that gives us a path forward with no more chaos on the budget picture is an accomplishment.
So my view, we've got to get rid of the debt ceiling.
I'm worried about the defense numbers. I'm worried about the fact that Senator Schumer can manipulate the bill to force us into an omnibus appropriation bill, which would be terrible.
The people who negotiated this, I wouldn't let them buy me a car.
I'm disappointed that there's not more victories for American workers. And I will just say again, I think the most important deficit we have is our trade deficit.
So down to the wire, but the debt deal does get passed, as you just heard. Reaction is mixed in the Senate, though.
That's right. Speaker McCarthy called the outcome good news for the American people and the American economy. But there's been a lot of vocal discontent from conservatives. They say the spending restrictions did not go far enough. The bill is now headed over to President Biden's Oval Office for his signature. That default was going to happen apparently on Monday. So
apparently,
yes,
it moved from June 1st to June 5th, and then here we are. There's a deal.
Let's welcome in now Texas Congressman Pat Fallon to talk more about the deal. He joins us now live. Great to see you, Congressman.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me on.
All right. People like Congressman Ken Buck, they said that this might endanger Speaker McCarthy's chair. What do you think?
Well, listen, I voted no on the package because I thought it could have been much better, quite frankly. But let's be realistic of where we are. We have a very narrow majority in one chamber. The Democrats control the Senate and the Democrats control the White House. So I didn't hear any complaints from the GOP conference about Kevin's performance in the first 6 months. And I don't think we need to fire him just over this, because where would we end up? Are we going to have 6 or 8 speakers in the next year and a half? Are we going to be like the Italian Parliament?
Are we going to have 15 more votes for the next speaker? That, we were talking about that. But to your point, I want to focus on this Wall Street Journal article here. The headline, it's after the deal broke, the news of the deal broke, I should say. It says, deal makes it Kevin McCarthy 3, detractors 0. So there you go, kind of backing up your point there.
Yeah, if you want to place blame on the debt ceiling increase, let's place blame where it belongs. I'll give you a list of names: Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, and the rest of the Democrats that won't acknowledge that we have an impending fiscal crisis, catastrophe on our hands, and we just kick the can down the road. I think we need to address it and work toward a balanced budget.
All right, so President Biden will be addressing the nation tonight on that, and so it looks like, it will land on his desk Monday. But I do want to get your reaction while we have you here, Congressman Fallon, on that breaking news off the top of our broadcast that House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer will now be able to view that unclassified FBI document Monday. This is the one a whistleblower says implicates Biden in a bribery scheme. As you know, when he was vice president, the FBI had ignored the subpoena to produce it. Comer threatened to hold Director Wray in contempt. Here's a bit of what he told Rob Schmitt last night, because he says this quid pro quo is actually one country his committee has not discussed publicly yet.
In the allegation, it was a country that we haven't discussed yet.
So it's not Romania, it's not China, it's not Ukraine.
It's not Romania, and it's not China. It is another country that we'll be discussing further. We're trying to track down some new bank account. But look at what we have, Rob. We have a president of the United States whose family, while he was vice president, created these shell companies. And I don't think a lot of the liberal elitists that are in the media now even know what a shell company is.
Of course, it begs the question, if there's nothing to hide, just let's see the unclassified document. But the fact that the FBI is now at least allowing Comer to view it in their office seems like a huge, significant development, Congressman Fallon.
Well, Bianca, the only reason why we're going to be able to view it is because we have subpoena power, and he was going to be held in contempt. They've been dragging their feet for years, over 2 years, and that's why we didn't get to see any of the the suspicious activity reports, of which there's about 170 on the Biden family, until we had subpoena power. So if there's nothing to hide, to your point, then why didn't Joe Biden and Hunter Biden just release all of their bank records and say, see, we haven't done anything, we are on the up and up? And furthermore, we'd like to see why this FD 1023 form, did the FBI investigate it thoroughly? Or are they there because they're being accused of holding, the water for Joe Biden? And what have they done the last month? Held the water for Joe Biden. So it's time to get to the truth.
Yeah, long past time to get to the truth. Congressman Pat Fallon, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you all. God bless.